Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some crazy news that the official PlayStation boss, Jim Ryan, is now officially retiring. Now, this is going to probably be a huge change-up when it comes to the PlayStation ecosystem, and as well, this was actually somewhat news that I myself was not expecting. So we're going to go and highlight and cover exactly what Jim Ryan said on his final farewells to PlayStation, as well as also going to get my quick thoughts and comments, and well, it's just kind of a crazy story that I myself was not really expecting as of today. And as well, if any of you guys are brand new, we actually have a brand new promotion going on right now with Best Buy for the brand new MetaQuest. It's actually coming out very, very soon for the pre-orders. Those are all linked down below. Technically a hashtag ad if you guys want to check that out. That'll be linked down below in the comment section and as well in the description. And of course, the Twitter and Twitch room down below and Amazon links if you guys want to check those on out. Let's dive into the video itself. Give me your thoughts and comments down below. So as you guys do or do not know, PlayStation's big CEO is Jim Ryan, who has been in the news at least a decent bit this past year or so, especially as Xbox has been going through their acquisition battle, trying to go through Activision, and well, with everything else in between, they've just been in a lot of just drama. There's been talks, there's been public statements, there's been, obviously interviews, and obviously Jim Ryan's done a pretty okay job. The PlayStation is one of the best-selling consoles right now, and definitely does have the market share in comparison to Xbox, although the future decisions may go and change. And well, at this point, that means that the whole entire PlayStation ecosystem may actually go and change as a whole, because obviously new CEOs means brand new changes, brand new oversights, and of course maybe different brand new decisions or directions for the PlayStation console. So as of right now, the PlayStation boss Jim Ryan is retiring. The CEO is leaving after only 4 years at the head of the gaming powerhouse. So the head of PlayStation is now officially stepping down. Sony announced in a press release today, Jim Ryan, Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO, is retiring after just 4 years on the job. The massive shakeup in leadership comes down to the PlayStation 5 breaks sales records, and as Sony has doubled down in prestige blockbuster games like The Last of Us Part 1 and Marvel's Spider-Man 2. After 30 years, I have made the decision to retire from Sony Interactive Entertainment in March 2024, Ryan said in a statement. I have relished the opportunity to have a job I love in a very special company, working with great people and incredible partners, but I've found it increasingly difficult to reconcile living in Europe and working in North America. So that's kind of a funny thing, because at that point I'd probably just say move to America and then your job's probably fixed, or as well just do maybe like 6 months on, 6 months off or whatever. I can't judge him though. I mean, I get it. This kind of affected my life, and also I don't want to kind of talk too bad on Jim Ryan, but he's a little bit on the older side, so it also might have just been an easy excuse where hey, I'm don't mind doing this work, but I've done my due diligence. I'm going to go and just retire. I'll just be done. So Ryan will officially leave the position as of April 2024. So he's not gone as of right this second, although it is coming sooner rather than later. Hiroki Totoki, Sony Group Corporate President, COO, and CFO, will help the transition and take on the role of interim CEO of PlayStation once Ryan leaves, and will help with the search for his successor. The news was first reported by Bloomberg's Jason Schreier. So I'm going to probably go and say at least on my take on this. That's usually kind of not a good sign. Not in a bad thing, you should be worried, but more so maybe he had health issues, maybe he just wanted to be done. But typically you'd usually have a successor a little bit quicker, because at this point, you want the CEO to be able to go and take the right-hand man, do it for a year or so and go from there. While in the reverse, Hiroki Totoki, it kind of has to somewhat take away from a back step of his own position to then help then once again find a successor. So it's not a permanent position over there. He probably likes his place in Sony nonetheless. I mean, it's still kind of fun or similar roles, and if you kind of basically report to, let's say, the CEO of Sony, it's kind of a similar thing. It's kind of for Phil Spencer, he's probably on a pretty good first name basis with all of Microsoft's executives, and I'm sure some executives are actually slightly higher when it comes to him. So in terms of subsidiaries or whatever, but this kind of seems a little bit of an abrupt ending, to be honest. A 30-year veteran, though, of Sony, Ryan was promoted to the top of PlayStation job in 2019 after a reorganization saw head of CEO of World Studios, Sean Layden, step down, and president of Worldwide Studios, Shuhei Yoshida, transitioned to more of a background role working with indie game developers. So it's basically someone's hey, I want to work, more casually outside of the scene and go from there. As head of PlayStation, Ryan oversaw the launch of PS5, which despite the pandemic-era shortages, is now on pace to break record sales thanks to an ongoing lineup of first-party games such as Horizon Forbidden West and God of War Ragnarok. His tenure also included the launch of PSVR 2, as well as a major pivot by the subscription service PS Plus to more direct compete with the Xbox Game Pass Netflix-like library of games. So the unexpected departure comes just a few months after Sony signed a 10-year agreement with Microsoft to keep Call of Duty, and as well after all the big acquisition battles and talks and everything else in between. So my kind of quick take on this before we read the official statement is that he was just kind of old, maybe. At the same time, the PlayStation was doing well, but the next probably like 2 to 3 to 4 years especially, or the PlayStation 6, are going to lead to a lot more bigger change-ups when it comes to gaming. Game Pass is completely going to change up the landscape of gaming. PS Plus did seem like it went down a little bit. You also have a lot of the negative PR, such as like the PlayStation price going increasing, which typically in my mind is not the best sign. Like, I would think you guys would probably agree. Like, you don't want to be known as a CEO who's like, yeah, I'm going to raise all the prices. Yeah, I'm going to make you guys have to spend more money, because then you kind of have a bad legacy in the future. And right now, he can kind of go and retire as a CEO and be like, hey, I made like the consoles doing great. The whole job was going great. We had really good games, God of War, Horizon, all these other games as well. Like, he could be like, yeah, I had a good time. Had a good vibe. And after like a 30-year career, especially after being like CEO, like he might just want to be done. Like I can't go and fault the guy. So they go and say Sony Group Corporation and Sony Interactive Entertainment today announced that Sony Interactive President and CEO Jim Ryan has made the decision to retire in March 2024 after almost 30 years with the PlayStation business. To support Mr. Ryan in his transition, Sony Group Corporation President, COO, and CFO Hiroki Totoki will assume the role of Chairman of Sony Interactive Entertainment, effective as of October 2023. So it's kind of like ongoing now for the transition period, but his official thing will be done as of basically April 1st, 2024. Or Mr. Totoki will be appointed interim CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment. While he continues his current role at Sony Group Corporation, Mr. Totoki will work closely with Sony Group Corporation Chairman and CEO Kenshiro Yoshida and the management team at Sony to help define the next chapter of PlayStation's future, including succession of the actual CEO role. So basically, they're trying to go and say, like, hey, we don't know what we want to do in the long term. We don't know what we want to go and do in the future. Like, what's like the decisions? What's the boardroom going to say? And we want to make sure the next CEO is kind of in that same mindset of like, hey, do we want to make sure the PS6 is great? Do we want to have like more games? Do we want to focus more on movies? What can we do to make sure it works? And that's what the CEO's role is going to be. So they basically almost have to foster or find the perfect person for PlayStation. Jim Ryan joined Sony Interactive Entertainment's Europe-based legal entity, Sony Interactive Entertainment Europe, which was then Sony Computer Entertainment Europe in 1994, and since then, that's what the year was born, funny enough, and since then, he has held a number of senior positions at the company, including president of basically the European Commission part, and the head of global sales and marketing, and deputy president as well since January 2018, before being appointed the actual CEO and president. Comment from Kenshiro. Jim Ryan has been an inspirational leader throughout his entire period with us, but never more than in overseeing the launch of the PS5 in the midst of the global COVID pandemic. That extraordinary achievement made by the entire Sony Interactive Entertainment team has been steadily built on, and PlayStation 5 is on track to become the most successful console yet. I'm immensely grateful to Jim for all of his achievements. Respecting Jim's decision to finish his long career at Sony leaves me with an important decision regarding his succession, given the significance of the game and network services business. We have discussed intensely and have determined the new management structure. We aim to achieve Sony Group's further evolution and growth through bringing even greater success to the game and network service, which is nice to go and see. Coming from Jim Ryan, which is funny to hear him. After 30 years, I have the decision to retire from Sony Interactive Entertainment in March 2024. I've relished the opportunity to have a job I love in a very special company, working with great people and incredible partners. But I found it increasingly difficult to reconcile living in Europe and working in North America. I will leave having been privileged to work on products that have touched millions of lives across the world. PlayStation will always be part of my life, and I feel more optimistic than ever about the future of Sony Interactive Entertainment. I want to thank Yoshida-san for placing. You guys ever have like a sneeze that's about just to go and it just doesn't ever go and it feels really awkward and that happens and in the middle of a video and you're just gonna probably make the video live anyway, and if anyone's actually watching this, you guys can make fun of me in the comment section down below. That was a moment that's awkward. Anyway, I want to thank Yoshida-san for placing so much trust in me and being an incredibly sensitive and supportive leader. And Hiroki said, I'd like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Jim Ryan for his outstanding achievements and contributions over his 30 years here at Sony, including the great success of launching the PlayStation 5. The PlayStation business managed by Sony Interactive Entertainment and is an essential part of Sony's group's entire business portfolio. I'll work with Jim and the senior management team closely to ensure our continued success and furthered growth. I'm also looking forward to creating the exciting future of PlayStation and the games industry together with everyone out there. So there's going to probably be a little bit more coming out throughout these next few days, whether it's for interviews, closing statements, etc. But it's crazy. Like, Jim Ryan did a pretty okay job. Probably not maybe as well known as Phil Spencer, because he's not as active on Twitter or other social medias, but I would say the PlayStation 5's in a pretty okay spot. Could be worse, and I'm going to hope that the next CEO doesn't change the company or business too much, and fingers crossed they don't turn a little bit more money hungry as a market leader, because that has destroyed businesses in the past. Give me your thoughts and comments down below. Make sure you guys check out the nice brand new MetaQuest. It's now ongoing on Best Buy with the pre-orders, link down below with a bunch of cool benefits as well. We also have the Twitter and Twitch link down below, and of course the Amazon links, and I appreciate you guys all so much for watching here in the first place.